And we are back with the WCS North America Challengers. And this is the last group for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Until we have our playoffs situated. So this is the second to last match, perhaps the most awaited match of the group, most exciting match of the group. The two expected winners of their first match, and puCK and Scarlett will be facing off. If you thought Scarlett is maybe just a little bit favored over puCK, well, time zone.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
6
it's
a.m. or something for Scarlett now, so
so
we'll see if
come
that
to play.
plays. Yeah, indeed. My name is Katz. I'm joined by the wonderful Coltaren.
Howdy.
And howdy from the great state of Texas.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hop into game, my friend. Gonna be new repugnancy for the first map of this best of 3. It's gonna be a fun one, guys.
Yes, indeed.
Taking on Scarlett here for Group D of WCS North American Challenger. Winner of this going to qualify for their spot in that top 8. As we get started, up on the top right-hand side in the red from Team Newbie, she is Scarlett.
And from the United States of America, but also playing for Team Root, it is puCK.
It's your boy.
My boy. There is mostly Root players in this game, actually, if you think about it. Wisdom Sauce is also part of the organization. puCK is part of the organization. Myself, and perhaps you at some point, Coltaren, should you grow more into me? Because at the moment I can't stand you. I'm just kidding. Of course, I love you. Coltaren is a alt friend now, as we've been casting Tespa, the collegiate series. That was a lot of fun, and we are actually going to be back and doing that at some point soon. Yes. I believe. So if you guys are interested in more casting from the two of us, you will find us there, and for sure we'll let you know as we know a little bit more about it. So in this game, puCK has blocked the natural expansion of Scarlett.
Indeed. Nice little annoyance here for the side of Scarlett, you know, forces that those drones to get transferred, as we've talked about throughout the weekend, causing, you know, little delays in the planning, in the income of the Zerg player, as Cybercore comes up back at home. Cybercore before the expansion, notably, so that's going to mean faster tech for puCK, faster potential aggression. You know, what this says to me is looking to take advantage of the spread out bases, you know, with an earlier adept. Going to be very nice to do so with.
Yeah, indeed. That is an advantage that can be taking a greater threat than normal. Not that the adept should find too much damage or anything like that, but there is a little bit of a greater risk, and there is a little bit of a tax to pay for these drones, as they are gonna have to travel a further path onto those minerals to start mining.
Indeed, as the Queen button gets pressed, 2 on the way here for Scarlett, as the natural expansion comes up for puCK, and we get to see that tech of choice, going to be the robotics facility, coming down for the Root Protoss.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see what the follow-up is. At the moment, Scarlett is unaware. puCK gets the pylon block very nicely. There's only 2 Zerglings, and so this pylon will be able to persevere for the time being until the next 2, now soon to be 4 Zerglings arrive. But actually, this might be enough. No, the adept is going to show up.
Well, very nice.
Yeah, protects. But there is more than a few Zerglings on the way, as well as link speed. So puCK actually has to be very, very careful with his adept, as it opts to delay the third over, going for economic damage onto the natural base. There is a second adept, I believe, on the way, and both shades are shading towards that third base. These guys can one-shot drones should they join up together. So we see puCK doing exactly that. Scarlett will try to mitigate damage by running the drones away, and link speed is about to but link speed is about to kick in, and that means the adepts cannot escape. puCK is going to be looking to hide, so very well shaded, as Scarlett just clicks onto puCK's natural base, because if puCK didn't actively control the shade to make sure that he wasn't on this path, the Lynx would have caught him on the way there. Beautiful job by puCK here. Very, very close.
So close there.
A huge risk, right? if he could have just given this adept up, or made it so that this adept is the tank, which would have meant it probably ends up dying because it hadn't regenerated all of the shields yet. But instead, he goes for the high-risk, high-reward play, and you know,
pays off.
Yeah, millisecond to spare.
Good job there, as Sentry production going to be starting up from that gateway. Of course, Immortal on the way as well. That Warp Prism already out, so this is looking Very similar to that, modern Soul Train style we've been seeing from Protoss. Is very popular right now, both, on ladder and, of course, in pro play. Very, very potent. That Warp Prism first allows some nice early pressure coming out. The Immortal going to get spotted here. Not necessarily unexpected from the side of Scarlett. Seeing this pretty standard, pretty usual here.
That is correct. An observer is being made next. 2 sentries loaded up with the Immortal, so we'll see if there's any potential abuse of ramps or even mineral lines where drones can be trapped by sentries and force fields to be harassed. The path indicates that that's most likely what we are to see here. puCK is gonna show his Warp Prism right away.
Ooh, maybe catch that Queen?
Oh,
Ooh,
very
very
nice.
nice.
Also with the sentry drop to continue to block it, will be able to kill it. But at the cost of a lot of shields and a little bit of real damage onto both of those units. A lot of circlings being made right now for Scarlett.
Yeah, 18 more getting added on to complement this contingent of 11, soon to be 11 roaches coming through the center of the map. Second Immortal getting added on the back side of things here for puCK as that Robotics Bay comes through. So gonna have the tools he needs to help with this defense, but it's gonna be a very scary force from Scarlett here. Force field's gonna be so crucial for puCK to stay alive here, as he is supply blocked as well. Not the time you want to be supply blocked as you are on the defense.
The Observer also will spot the army pretty much as late as it possibly could, so this is a little bit dangerous for puCK. He does decide and is able to have the decision to make to not take the third, so he can hold maybe at the natural. However, if he's forced back into his wall, which he will be, oh, nice force field so far. Will that be enough? If he is forced further back, this is going to be very problematic. The Lynx gets great surface area.
Oh, the Immortal going down as well, and the Zergling's wiggling in. No more energy for those force fields. The Bile's going to unpower all of this, and this is such a beautiful push for Scarlett.
Very
microing his heart out.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest part of the problem there was the Observer pathing, as it goes towards the third instead of just straight up to the natural, where you're going to see the fastest path. If there was to be an all-in, perhaps thinking Scarlett is not going to all-in me, but Scarlett is the type of player, one of very few players who can kind of play just about every style. A very cerebral player, one of the smartest in the scene.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. No, so impressive to watch, and well executed there. As we said, the force field's not enough, trying to contest it outside of that wall, which, you both need to do, and also it's such a scary proposition, right? You don't want to have your wall. We saw the Biles so effective in unpowering everything there. We saw such great pressure from that army, and, trying to contest it on the outside, but then not having enough room in the Warp Prism, losing that second Immortal, just really kind of made it put it in a very tough spot for puCK, and eventually led to his demise, not having enough sentries on the back end to maintain the force fields for the defense.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't want to hold that in the open field. You want to hold that in a choke. So the ideal choke would have been to position his army forward to the first entrance, right? To the high ground, not quite at his wall. If he got pushed back into his wall, some might argue, oh, why not just go back into his wall? But then you're giving up 2 gateways and a Cybercore for free to just Ravagers and Corrosive Biles. Right. And then that's further complication.
Yeah, so expensive, and, having to remake that, not to mention not being able to warp in any additional sentries at that point. It's kind of a darned if you do, darned if you don't when it gets to that point, if that Warp Prism not being able to draw any of the units back, that pressure getting, did get the 1 Queen, but at that point the attack was already well underway. Scarlett already had the 10 roaches out, adding on more.
You want to spot it earlier, essentially, and be ready for it. Have more units, or add shield batteries, or do whatever you have to do. But when you scout it and it's already like more than half of the way through, and you haven't been preparing specifically for that, it just becomes an insurmountable?
Yeah.
How do you say that word?
Insurmountable.
Thank you very much, task. So King's Cove will be, my friend, the next map.
Yeah, going to be the next map. Very, very cool here, as we are getting set up for the game. It's going to be game number 2 of this best of 3. And so, puCK, with not being able to make that hold there, not being able to, apply the pressure that he was wanting to with that opener, do you want to see him do anything different here? Do you want to see anything weird come out from him?
I definitely want to see him do it, yeah.
Okay. All right. other than just not losing, what do you want to see
win
here
if
from
possible, last a little bit longer than 5 minutes would be ideal for me. So, yeah, for sure, I would like to see him switch it up. Let's see how he does that, though, as I am sure he's well aware of the possibility now. And yeah, here we have our players.
Yeah.
Just chilling on the King's Cove. puCK will go for the pylon on the low ground.
Oh, what a beautiful cove this is, right? You know,
This
it's
is where kings are crowned.
yeah, and you know, some
Or queen.
nice beachfront property. You know, decorated by some nice skeletons up above that base, nice and pretty.
Yeah, skeletons are always nice, and they're indicative of prior life and also indicative of the lack of social structure in the vicinity, right? So
Right.
this is a deserted area, even though
Which you know, lack of social structure, an alluring spot for a king. You know, they can they can plant themselves. You know, start their own hierarchy.
Yes, no, I see where you're going. Yes, there is a lack of social structure, but I would say that is a lack of social structure that stems from the lack of people, right? There's dinosaurs dead there, and mostly just bones. So I don't think many.
Let me ask you this: what killed the dinosaurs? In this world, on King's Cove, like what killed these dinosaurs?
Scarlett.
Ooh, I like it.
Ooh, I love it. So we'll see how puCK reacts here. He's gonna pull a few probes, not too many probes. He's gonna add the cyber core fairly fast. And this is indeed a proxy hatch. Now, this is my kind of jam, because it's the kind of game where you throw a wrench early on, you see how your opponent reacts. I like puCK's reaction so far, just pulling the 4 probes and chrono boosting the Zealot out. This hatchery stands no chance at finishing. And or rather, if Scarlett should decide to finish it, it would die right away. So I am revealing a little bit too much, I feel like, for my future opponents, but a lot of people tend to send a lot more probes. And that is highly indicative that they want to take the Nexus right away. I feel like that puts the Zerg a little bit ahead, whereas in doing this, the Zerg will never want to finish the hatchery anyway, because right as it finishes, it's gonna die, and then you invest too much. So Scarlett will have to cancel regardless. In fact, even a couple less probes would have done the trick here, for even just the 3 probes, because the hatchery won't want to finish if it's gonna die shortly after it finishes. And that is all the secrets that I will reveal today.
The drone going to try and escape here, as it is a Stargate opener coming up from the side of puCK. Have been seeing double Stargate, you know, have its day again. You know, still a very powerful tool in the back pocket of these Protoss players. We'll see what variation, what flavor of Stargate play we'll be seeing from puCK today.
I love this approach, and of course puCK has been proxy hatched multiple times. You know,
at least once or twice.
At least once or twice in his day. So he has good responses such as this one. I like the idea behind this for multiple reasons. The main one being that the Nexus is dropped shortly after the hatchery is cancelled anyway. So from Scarlett's perspective, it might seem like, oh, well, I delayed the Nexus, good job. But it's not like puCK was highly reliant on the Nexus going down. He was more thinking, okay, well, that cost you minerals, that cost you money, and thus my Oracle is going to do a lot.
Yeah, and here it comes out into that mineral line, getting the first few. Okay, decent target fire so far. 5, should get 6, and
fantastic.
Ooh, one more shot. Nice job. puCK gets out of there. Beautifully done.
Yeah, very, very good start here for puCK, as he has another Oracle in production, and Scarlett is forced to drop a Spore as well. So this is nowhere near done. I love this from puCK as well, showing the Oracle to the Overlord of Scarlett willingly. I would love for him to show it going elsewhere too. Ooh. But we'll find another 3 drones with the second Oracle.
Oh, it does lose that one. Good job by Scarlett there, bringing the Queen over. That Spore Crawler finishing just in the nick of time for her.
A problem of angling there, right? Had he run in in a clearer diagonal, the Oracle would have survived.
Yeah, should have zagged instead of zigged.
Queens attacking each other for just a brief second.
Yeah, you know, keeping each other in check. I think that's healthy. You know,
needless to say, I keep her in check. And we are going to see the Oracle pick up another 2 drones. This has been fantastic so far. If we look at the resources lost tab, as Wisam is already showing, there is a 12 workers that have been killed so far this game.
Really phenomenally done here for puCK in this opener. That Proxy Stargate getting its value more than its value here. as the Immortal coming up on the backside of this, as well as that Resonating Glaive is going to allow these Adepts to be very, very potent against this Zergling heavy force that's currently available to Scarlett. Of course, Roachborn and that layer. And the second and third gas is coming up here, so it's going to be a lot of units available to Scarlett very soon here. You know, a lot of builds where a lot of roaches get pumped out after these gases get taken. You know, curious to see what Scarlett's going to be going for here exactly.
Yeah, puCK is going to try to push his advantage on the issue by adding a bunch of extra gateways, also Resonating Glaives on the way. He will clear this Zergling so that he can feign an expansion. Most likely, though, we're going to see a heavy commitment from him. The Overlord of Scarlett is getting in position to spot for the third. So,
this supply block for puCK is brutal as well, right, as he's trying to power up for this.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is he has to wait for his gateways anyway, so it's not going to be too hurtful because he's most likely willing to make or wanting to make units. So if he gets supply block, that's not the worst thing in the world, because usually if you wanted to make probes, that's where it would hurt. But if you're going to make units and you're adding production anyway, you know, you're not really going to miss out on too much.
Yeah, I guess the main benefit I would like to see is just extra, you know, a few extra sentries building energy, but yeah, not the biggest deal in the world
for sure, for sure.
As that Changeling is going to get spotted, Overseer should be able to get a full scout of this, so very, very important information for Scarlett. Seeing these gateways, seeing that Twilight Council, finishing researching, of course, doesn't know quite yet if it's Charge or Glaives.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I don't like this sentry transition from puCK. I mean, this might do a lot. There is an Immortal there, so might make me eat my words.
Why don't you like the sentries?
Well, I would have liked more Adepts because he invested into the Resonating Glaives, so...
Yeah, definitely needs to add on more here. I feel like the sentry's going to provide a lot of value in being able to, you know, cut off the battlefield and help him get some of those picks.
Yeah, I like it more as I'm watching what's happened. So he's willing to reinforce with all the Adepts in the world, and 3 Adepts will pull the army off position whilst doing a lot of damage. And the sentries, not the best force fields, only grabbing a couple of roaches there.
Yeah.
Only 1 Immortal as well for damage. So the army of puCK is kind of a little bit of Tickle Me Elmo type deal.
Yeah, not doing a ton here, but these Adepts in the middle line doing so much right now. 12 drones getting killed, and puCK just backs off. Knows he doesn't need to press the issue right now, doesn't want to overstay, take a risky fight. Beautifully done. I like this from
very
puCK.
well done. There's been a lot of drone carnage in this game, so the economy of Scarlett has certainly been slowed down, but puCK has also lost a few units himself. 25 workers killed a total, and only 6 units have died for puCK, but those 6 units represent more than half of the difference here, as 1,300 resources have been lost for puCK, whereas 2K resources lost for Scarlett. So not as big a difference as you may think. Now puCK ready to hold at the choke that we talked about earlier.
Scarlett arriving here with that Roach Ravager force very wisely, not going to push the issue there. As, of course, those force fields. Nice awareness by puCK. Keeping that alive. Will finally lose that Oracle. No more revelations or harassment opportunities for him. As Colossus production going to be the call on the backside of this, using that second robotics facility, that Spire completely unscouted, as Awesome Sauce shows.
Yeah, I think Nate has been making great points throughout the last couple of days about Oracle retention, and it is very, very true. I think that's very easy to ignore. You think your Oracles no longer carry value and such, but with the push, those stasis traps can be fantastic, and just added value from the Oracles. Like if you're kiting an army off of creep, if there's no queens yet, oftentimes the Zerg will just have roaches and ravagers, and then the Oracles can see a lot of value themselves. puCK opting to go for Colossus, not the most standard of choices given the army composition of Scarlett. Is mostly roaches, but there is 3 Immortals also in play, so also not you know, not crazy.
Yeah, not super unheard of here. The Mutalisk count going to start to climb here, and that will be a bit annoying for puCK in the short term. That blink not quite available just yet, and with no just 1 shield battery. Yeah, more shield batteries are finishing up here, so we'll have those available. Not sure the math on how many mutas it takes to out damage a shield battery.
Yeah, so the mutas will get spotted, but a little bit too late. The Stalkers will be in position, of course, to try and repel these mutas, as puCK was aware of the direction, the vector that the mutas were following as well. So a cannon and a shield battery. Okay, that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, good defense so far. As Blink getting closer to finishing up, and that Thermal Lances on the back side of this.
Thank
Goodness we're seeing that Thermal Lances.
Yeah, that and most importantly the Phoenixes as well being added. We've seen, or I've seen puCK before. Not at Phoenixes. We saw yesterday, I believe. Who was it that wasn't adding Phoenixes, and then Mutas just eventually killed them? Someone.
I don't quite recall.
Yeah, there's so many games.
So many games, yeah.
But that happened yesterday as well. Consistently kept, their opponent kept adding Mutas, and they didn't add Phoenix, and they just ended up dying.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that puCK is adding those Phoenix. They are an essential part of the composition against Mutas, but he also is not overcommitting, just one at a time, which is perfect.
Exactly, doesn't want to get into those weird situations where, the Protoss player way overcommits into Phoenixes and then you just gets killed by the forces on the ground. So very smart play so far from puCK as he continues to repel these Mutas. Mutas haven't really been able to find their niche in this game just yet, right? Haven't been able to find too much, but this main army is so massive from Scarlett arriving here.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to push it. I don't know about this. I would have much rather puCK let some units through there, just a few spill. Just blocking the units from coming is, not bad. It's fine. Because Scarlett is showing a lot of commitment here, but it's not great either. Now these units were meant to deny a fourth. Oh, I love these disruptors.
Oh my goodness!
Big, but not as big. Pretty big actually. Let's say 80% of as good as it could have been possibly, right?
Yeah, that was like a double-double, not quite with animal style, right?
Yeah,
but
that's
like
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Pretty decent all the same. +2 weapons getting started up, as well as that +1 flyer attack here for the Phoenixes. Second Stargate getting added on as well, recognizing the importance that the Phoenixes are going to play here, as well as just being prepared for that eventual Sky transition that's going to be oh so essential against this Greater Spire we see coming up for Scarlett as well.
Indeed.
19 Banelings getting added on here. Those centrifugal hooks going to be rolling these explodey boys where they need to go as they look for a full surround.
Beautiful force fields. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, so good here. The bottom side getting shredded, but on the top, the more Banelings are here.
God, she's so good.
Oh my goodness, the force fields are even better on the right-hand side. The disruptor shot landing on the right. More Banelings crashing through, but the Immortal taking so many of those shots. puCK taking almost no losses right now. Yeah. Beautiful fight for him.
Great engagement from Scarlett coming from every angle, but puCK sectioning off a majority of the army. I think at that point in time, Scarlett would have normally just pulled back, and I was wondering why she was staying as long as she was, because she was taking free damage while force fielded, right? That's not like her. And the reason for that is because she had the flank coming from behind as well, so she felt committed to the attack, as she had, spent a lot of mental resources, I suppose, and also
that's a dangerous spot for that Broodlord getting morphed in range of those Blink Stalkers as they do find them and keep that from going up. Banelings coming in from that top-hand side, the Disruptor looking for it. Decent Baneling connections actually onto a lot of those sentries, granted out of energy, not the biggest deal in the world as the Banelings continue moving forward, and that is GG. puCK equalizes here in game number 2.
Excellent game, and when I get cannon rushed, I usually say I trained with Deezer and Combat X and Jeff. And Jeff, and so you can't cannon rush me. puCK is kind of in that zone as well. You don't proxy hatch him.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With such a wizened old sensei.
Oh, thanks. Wow. Yeah. No. Let's go.
No.
There.
Yeah. You're a wise sensei, old. Compared to me.
Sure.
It's all relative. You're still a very young man, Cats, and you look great. Killing it. I mean, everybody, stylish man, most stylish man in StarCraft at the moment. No question about it.
Keep them coming. You have a lot to make up for right now. So.
Yeah, really. So anyway, this next game, what are you looking forward to seeing from Scarlett here?
I don't know that I have much to look forward to.
Oh man, we need to get his walk around here, guys. Come on.
I don't know if.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even see if you have any gray hairs up there. Love you, Cats. We're having fun here. We have fun here at WCS Challenger. It's a fun time. It's a fun show.
That's interesting.
It's been fun on my first and last studio broadcast here. Oh man, good times. Acropolis is going to be this third map. puCK versus Scarlett. So, bias aside of, obviously, he's your teammate and you want him to advance, who do you got here in this final game? You know, who do you?
Can you set a bias aside?
You're right. There is, you know, I think
I
think so long as you acknowledge the bias, then
well,
it's okay. You know.
Then I acknowledge the bias,
Mm-hmm.
and puCK will win, of course.
There it is. All right. I don't know what I expected. Yeah.
Did you expect me to betray here? To say he has no chance?
No, no.
I mean, he just destroyed Scarlett, right?
Right.
Let's hope Scarlett goes for another proxy hatch. If she's listening, she might. If you're listening, you might. I know you.
Yes.
Might.
If she might. She might indeed. Yeah, no, puCK definitely looked very strong in that game. The force field's phenomenal, clearly playing at the top of his game. And yeah, we'll see if he can keep it up here in game 3. As Scarlett, of course, no slouch either. It's going to be, I imagine, taking less risks here in game 3.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're waiting on one of the players right now. So we'll just be another quick second.
Yeah, just get to stand, you know, just get to hang out here, you know.
Yeah, just spend some time, some of my remaining time.
the short time you have left.
Well, thanks, man.
No, you're really not that old. In the scope of the universe, you know.
Love it.
Oh, good stuff, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so yeah, we are just waiting on the players, guys. Thank you for bearing with us. Obviously, this is an online event. Players are playing from home. So, you know, there are sometimes a little bit of downtime, but thank you all for sticking with us. You know, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink, tell your friends, you know, hey, we got this, you know, this dude from the retirement home casting. And it's great. It's a good time. I'm really laying into you. I'm sorry. You deserve better.
No, I deserve you. I deserve you.
All right. Yeah, no, he is still not ready. So we are still just here, you and us, chat, hanging out here for North American Challenger. What's your favorite? Do you like pizza, Cats?
Yeah, we had pizza the other day.
We did have pizza the other day.
There is a big problem, however, with that pizza, and it is that what is the name of it? Fire. It's fired,
like
fired pizza, but it has an apostrophe after the fire.
Right.
So for the first couple of days, I refused to eat there on principle alone, right? You do not spell fire and then add an apostrophe D at the end, because that's not how you do it. That's not. It's grammatically incorrect.
It is indeed. Like,
and it's a huge sign.
That fire doesn't possess anything. It doesn't own anything. It doesn't even know what grammar is. It's
clearly not.
Really a slap in the face to the English language.
And I don't know how that happens. Like, how do you open a restaurant, invest so much, you know, in Burbank, in an expensive...
an expensive shopping center, yeah.
Yeah,
that rent
so how can
must be a lot.
Misspell that? Because it's not just the misspelling, it's the fact that there's also going to be people that are making the sign, people that are going to be, you know,
this was a process, yes.
Co-owners, that there's people that are vetoing, there's artists that design the logo in itself, that write fire, and they all are okay with the apostrophe. So it's... Yeah,
it seems absurd that nobody brought that up.
Yes, indeed. It was pretty good, though, I gotta say.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. What did you get on your pizza?
What did I get? I got chorizo, spicy chorizo, spicy tomato base. I got spinach on top of it.
Very nice.
And basil sauce.
Ah, very nice.
Pesto basil, yeah.
Basil pesto, nice.
So, yeah, pretty good.
Solid stuff here as these guys getting into game. Very standard starts here. No proxy hatchery shenanigans, at least yet. Here for Scarlett.
Oh no, yeah, that window's gone.
No, absolutely.
So
not gonna happen.
We'll see. Expecting a gas pool, most likely from Scarlett here. And there we go.
Yeah.
And from puCK, we're likely gonna see a Nexus to follow up this gateway first, as there is no drone to do any shenanigans, as you mentioned. The second probe must be scouting or proxying. Nope, it was just there to make sure that there wasn't a drone that was going to be denied the Nexus or delay it.
Yeah, very nice moves here from puCK as that Cybercore once again dropping it before the Nexus, so clearly prefers to have that.
Yeah, one after the other actually, so maybe a little bit of a mistake by puCK. If he was going to drop the Cybercore, he could have done so considerably earlier.
Yeah.
So I am not sure what made him decide to go for this order of events. The probe will be crossing the map.
Yeah, third hatchery coming down for Scarlett, nice and early here, just before that 2-minute mark. So, going to have very early access to all the larvae you could wish for as a Zerg here in the early game. Very comfortable start for Sasha down here in the bottom right side as this probe of puCK just going to be sticking around, you know, wants to see when and how many those first Zerglings are leaving, as is Stargate going to be the call for him once again back in that main base.
Yep. And I don't know what we'll see from it. I mean, we could see a Phoenix Oracle or Oracle.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a tell for Scarlett already in terms of being able to see that there is tech being thrown down, that warp gate research not getting started. Even still, pretty significant tell here, as that Overlord does spot that. Just now getting started up about that 245 mark.
That is very true indeed. So we're gonna see the first adept moving out. There's not much that it's probably not gonna be able to find much. The first couple of adepts actually, but he will sync them up and see if he can arrive at the same time. If he can land next to a drone and there's not enough Zerglings in position, which there will be, he could do a little bit of damage. Scarlett's gonna have up to 8 Zerglings, I believe, total. Yep, there's 8 already out with 2 more in production, so puCK has to be extremely careful here as he shades into the natural. Yeah, he's gonna go for it. I love that.
Nice.
So he sees 4 of the links going in. Okay, gets a drone.
Yeah.
Now recalls, I mean...
it was okay. I wish he hadn't had to recall there.
Yeah, the recall, and you might think, oh, but he saved everything. He got a drone for free. Yeah, but the recall costs energy, so he's going to be foregoing Chrono Boost for potential tech, for potential even more probes faster, right? So it's an even-ish trade, if that.
Is it though?
Yeah, I'm
I
not
feel like
sure.
it's a little worse for puCK here, you know?
Maybe so, marginally so.
Yeah, like it's not, you know, not gonna decide this game by any means.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the health taken off of the adept, so accounting for that.
Oracle, that's an exposed mineral line right there, and he finds it. The Bloodhound Oracle looking for the kills, gets 2. Allfather, give me sight.
A lot better there.
Yeah, not gonna get too
not
much.
Gonna lie. Yeah, and this was a great position for puCK to go in, right? He goes in the most inconspicuous place. If you are a Zerg player, which Scarlett is, you usually want to make the spores on the outer bases, maybe the main, and then usually you have 2 queens in the main in the base that doesn't have the spores. But puCK actually finds the one base that only has 1 queen. So being able to only take 3 drones, I think that was poor micro. Very uncharacteristic of him, but you know, doesn't quite manage to stutter step. I think he could have gotten 5 or 6
I completely agree.
drones even.
On bright side, does keep it alive, as we've been saying throughout the weekend. It's so important to keep these Oracles alive, bringing so much utility to the Protoss Force, stasis traps, revelations. You know, for the time being, going to be mostly Revelation bots as they do donuts outside the third base. We're looking to keep an eye on things on the other side of the map. So that Phoenix is headed across as well. Looking to get some information, sees the layer getting started up, should see this Roachhorn as well, not to mention the gas count, all 4 getting taken for Scarlett.
Yes, indeed. There is the lair finishing as well, so we'll see what her choice is with this. Most likely gonna be adding roach speed for sure, but we'll see if she decides to do something else on top of that.
12 roaches in that production tab, as the Warp Prism going to be the first unit out from that robotics facility back at home, or excuse me, just next unit out. Immortal already out and ready here. As Evolution Chamber coming down on the back side of this for Scarlett as well, going to allow for that most likely +1 missile here, right?
Yes, indeed, and a Forge to match on the side of puCK. So we are gearing up where both players are not looking to completely all in or end the game in the shortest vicinity of time. Upgrades are consistent with a later game plan, not a late game plan.
There is going to be some considerable pressure available for puCK to be putting on Scarlett here, as that Warp Prism is done. You know, the sentries, as we've seen, can be so lethal. As he is making his way through, not a lot of meat with this army. 6 Stalkers get worked in. Not sure exactly where. Oh, outside the natural base. So we'll be catching up here.
Yeah.
With that attack, Stalkers kind of the warp in of choice for dealing with these roaches. Obviously, struggle against the heavier Zergling counts that we could be seeing from Scarlett here. Is 8 Ravagers getting added on, going to be so crucial in taking down those force fields and denying zones of control from puCK as he pushes towards this ramp.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think Scarlett does spot puCK dropping those though, so she's going to be pretty careful, and I think she will be able to.
Recalling.
Pretty sketch recall. Oh my god. Oh no. Okay, really an unfortunate series of events from puCK here. And this is what I mean, like puCK is a brilliant player and very intuitive, but sometimes, you know, your feels say something and your head should not agree, because this is just like why recall? Just walk back if there's no threat whatsoever. So
yeah, there was
some creep, drops those
another
things.
attack. Yeah.
What do you gain from dropping the what do you call them?
The stasis traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing, right? Nothing at all?
No, yeah.
Unless you're gonna use them to engage there.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it wasn't like that Force of Scarlet was overwhelming. You know, he definitely could have taken that fight, traded out with that a bit.
Yeah.
Now the Nidus
had
Worm
the
coming
choke.
up on the top side as the Roaches are pressuring the center of the map. Zergling's ready with this as well. The Oracles will find this. See what's going to get unloaded here. Oh, the Queens and the Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, very good by Scarlett to bring the Queens. Very good presence of mind of the potential of the Oracles. And they were loaded first even, so she was planning for this even before it happened. There's not that many Locusts at all, though, so Scarlett won't be able to accomplish much. But puCK might be caught off position for this, so let's see.
Yeah, the main army down here by the third base. Another Nidus Worm coming up with this Roach Ravager force, going to allow this army to be so mobile, and not to mention the Locusts and the Queens can be able to move back and forth and help this army out.
Oh,
Great
very good force
there,
fields.
cutting off the Roaches.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Gotta cut off the Nidus as well, because otherwise she's just going to load into it and get away.
Very, very nice.
So yeah, that I think he saw the Nidus as a structure that was unpathable or something, but you know, like Scarlett is Scarlett. Maybe a few Stark players wouldn't notice that you can do that, but of course Scarlett was gonna, and you know, you had 6 Roaches.
Oh my goodness! Zergling sitting right on top of this. The force field's way too late, and here come the Biles now directly into the center of this. The first Mortal goes down. 2 more left on the right-hand side. Here come the Stalkers from the top. Gonna be doing a lot of damage to those Ravagers, and very nicely cleaned up here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
To your point, the sentries kind of just moved onto the army of Scarlett, and neither player really noticing for a quick second there. So Scarlett probably thinks, wow, you just let me walk into the middle of your army, and then puCK, with very good reactive force fields from the situation he was in, ends up sectioning the army off, and with the Ravagers exposed, those are not very tanky, so they fall pretty fast, and they are very, very expensive units. So puCK taking a pretty good fight, and Nidus will also be cleared out, so that is something else, and the Observers here, so that creep tumor will not last either.
Yeah, another Nidus Worm going to try and come up here in the main base. Certainly doomed to fail. Storm coming up for puCK rapidly, as he does already have 4 High Templar building up that energy. More Locusts coming in now at this third base.
This is perhaps the scariest Locust wave so far, as it will do some economical damage, potentially start working on some of these pylons.
Okay.
F.
All right. Well,
yeah,
you know, they're just going to moonwalk out of there.
Yeah. And with this Locust, she actually could have probably killed the Nexus if she had focus fired all of it.
Yeah,
hey, pay attention!
Yeah,
so there's a lot of Storm Hosts there that could have been killed too.
Yeah, if she had synced up those waves, definitely could have gotten that Nexus at the very least. Lost a couple of Queens on the back end of that as well. Oh,
even without syncing them, if she just had clicked on the Nexus the entire time, knowing that there was a second wave coming, that would have been enough.
Absolutely. Oracle's coming up here, not having enough energy to deal with this. That's been unfortunate for puCK, as Scarlett will be able to unload here. Just a ragtag group of Zerglings here, but now here come the Swarm Hosts. This is the meat and potatoes of this army. Storm going down. Oh my!
Not too bad for puCK at all. I mean, that's a lot of damage output onto those Swarm Hosts. However,
oh, the Roaches on the other side. These High Templar in so much trouble.
Those High Templar need to morph right now.
Oh man.
The army of Scarlett will be cleared out, though, for the most part. At least the Roach Ravager portion of it.
Yeah, and that is very nice for puCK, dealing, you know, some very nice trades there. Important for Scarlett, keeping those Swarm Hosts alive.
Well, he does use all the energy, right? He does use all the energy on his Templars. So this next potential wave is very scary. Oh, this is huge!
Oh my goodness, they're all trapped here. Another Nidus Swarm coming up, trying to rescue these Swarm Hosts. puCK rushing to capitalize here. These Swarm Hosts in so much trouble. Great cleanup.
This is fantastic by puCK, just identifying that the Swarm Hosts are out of position yet again. And goes for the blink. He wasn't able to capitalize on it. I would have loved a forward blink.
Would have been great there.
Yeah, that would have been great indeed. But I mean, he's playing it safe. Maybe he feels like he's at an advantage given the trades that have been going on, and maybe doesn't want to risk blinking into a reinforcing army of Zerglings or something like that that would have been coming to protect the Swarm Host. But there was no such thing.
And hey, welcome everybody coming from the Warcraft stream. Thanks for the raid, guys. Welcome.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, Warcrafters. Hope you've been having a wonderful day. So yeah, these Zealots are gonna go and try to find something on the bottom of the map. There's not going to be much to be found there.
Yeah, that Nidus Swarm coming up just a little bit too late there for the Zealots to spot it. Heading back down there now, though, as the Swarm hosts once again get unloaded and will be able to force a cancel on this base, almost certainly.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the Locusts got committed there onto the Zealots.
Yeah,
very nice.
Scarlett not clicking fast enough. You wanna box those Locusts and make sure that they move elsewhere. So good stopping there good stopping that wave there by puCK. And now there's no Locust available. So I would love for puCK to push as fast as possible before that next wave comes online. But he's not able to capitalize thus far. Let's see. He is pushing forward.
Okay, Storm's starting to come through here. The ebb and flow of these engagements, like you said, rallying around revolving around those waves of Locusts as the Swarm hosts.
The song is called Even Flow, right? Not Ebb and Flow. Is it Ebb and Flow? The Ebb and Flow is the actual pronunciation, though, right?
Ebb and Flow is like the ebb and flow of like the ocean and like the waves. I don't know if there's a song.
Well, what's the Even Flow? No? Pearl Jam?
No. I mean, I've heard it, but I don't know. I've heard it, but I don't know the...
Back in my day, the Pearl Jam made a song.
Big fight here as the Stalker's pushing forward. Looking to get on top of these Ravagers, a big forward blink there as the Storms locking these Ravagers into the corner, but the Locusts from the backside. Great force fields here as puCK continues to run up. The health bar on that hatchery getting very low as well, but the Locusts starting to get some good damage onto those Immortals. The last one will go down, and now the Bile's going to be available here to take down more of these Stalkers. Doing great blink, Michael, here so far, but 74 to 105, that army supply a little bit deceitful as these Ravagers so dense.
Oh, they are very expensive, though. Nice blink forward. I was going to say the Lynx were the great buffer there for Scarlett. As soon as those are gone, the Ravagers are really going to struggle trading efficiently against this army. And I love that he added some Archons, because Scarlett has to add Zerglings in order to clear this Stalkers. Now, another wave of Locusts is popped, and this is mostly just to protect this base for the time being. I think puCK has to retreat, wait that out. Good kiting onto the Lynx. That's going to help them clear out those.
Great target fire with the Oracle
and
as well.
Now that it's gone, the wave of Locust, he needs to go back in and finish that base right now.
Immediately. Yeah, it needs to immediately go back in here. No reason to wait around. He is getting it a bit, drawn back by that Nidus Worm. Good moves here by Scarlett, recognizing that puCK is going to try and take advantage of this, that he wants to be pushing while those Locusts are unavailable. 5 Corruptors getting added on the backside of things as well, as that +2 melee ticks ever closer, but that will get denied. puCK pushing forward, smelling blood in the water, as he looks perhaps a little bit too far forward into the future.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the base to take, right? There's a very red base that he has been working on. You know, that if you hit a couple times, you kill that one.
Yep.
So I think that's where he needed to go. That's also the more exposed base, the base that has the easier way out, because it's, you know, at the edge of Scarlett's territory. So that's what he should have taken. The Locusts still being annoying as they can be.
Yeah, coming in here to this next base. Good response by puCK. Keeping things alive here, and we'll finish cleaning that up. Clear out this Nidus Worm as well. First Broodlord of the game starting to come in here. Or excuse me, third Broodlord of the game coming in here for Scarlett as she works to get that count up. A bit low on the mineral side of things here, as that worker count still below 50 for Scarlett. So not quite the gluttonous Zerg we've been seeing so far this weekend. Much more limited economy.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to see the Oracles here spotting this Nidus. They're going to take it down as well, so very, very good job with these Oracles through and through. They've been kept alive for a while now. Even though the first couple of Oracles died, the next bunch have repaid their weight.
Yes,
gold.
Indeed, getting themselves that value and bringing puCK the utility he's needed. Look at that resources lost, about a 3K lead for our blue Protoss player, and about double the unit, about half the units lost. So Scarlett losing a lot of those smaller units like the Zerglings, as another Nidus Worm coming up. Been doing such a great job of being active with this and in maintaining the pressure with these Swarm hosts.
Yeah, to clarify, the lead is on Scarlett's end in terms of efficiency. However, the problem here for puCK is not so much efficiency. I mean, that's whatever at this point. It's a pretty close game. The map is not going to get mined out anytime soon. But Scarlett already has a very strong...
Oh, these Broodlords!
Oh, they're kind of exposed.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah. That second Broodlord could have fallen pretty easily. There's a lot of Storm here to
nice grab by those
Locusts. Another very aggressive blink.
Yeah, blinking forward here, taking down 2 of those Broodlords as he continues to kite back towards that right-hand side. That red health base finally going to start to get pressured here. Ooh, yeah, High Templar very exposed.
But good storms. Okay. This might be an opportunity for puCK as he pushes forward.
He's doing it big, playing forward there, right underneath the Broodlords.
Be careful with those biles.
Oh, beautiful stuff so far. That one Broodlord, all that remains of that previous 5. Good target fire by the Stalkers. Still, great pile on those High Templar on the top-hand side. Only 3 left. Oh, and another one gets targeted down as well, only getting one of its storms off. Beautiful target fire by Scarlett here, but has lost 20 drones on the backside of this.
Yeah, also that base falling from Scarlett, and puCK now with a supply lead. He is doing a fantastic job, very good job at capitalizing and identifying where he could blink in. And much of that is by virtue of Scarlett having a lot of her army off to the left-hand side, right? That army that was looking for a flank to trap puCK's army. puCK identifies that the complete army of Scarlett's not there, blinks forward, picks off a couple of Broodlords. Could have been a little bit cleaner here and there, but for the most part does the job. And now he's in a pretty good position. These Swarm Hosts represent no threat whatsoever.
Yeah, this is a very nice spot for puCK as he pushes forward. Nice blink avoiding the bile here as these Roaches trying to make a final stand for Scarlett here, trying to keep her in this game and in this series. puCK with the win here in the winner's match. Going to escape in first from Group D for WCS Challenger. He was right. Every time.
Every single... It's a curse.
It's a curse.
It's a curse.
Man, beautifully done. The heavy ways to crown, am I right? Man, indeed. Beautifully won by puCK. What a series there from him. Escaping first place in this group.
Very well done indeed.
Yeah.
And we have one more match, I believe, to go.
That's correct. One more best of 3 coming up here in just a bit. Been a phenomenal group so far. Just to give you a reminder of what's happened. Scarlett took down Jason to start us off here in North America, and now going to be having to face off against Silky in that Deciders match. puCK escaping in first to determine who will be our final escapee from this group. Final one to advance to that top 8 is going to be Scarlett versus Silky as our next and final match here for WCS Challenger North America.
Yeah, and that'll be covered by me and Nate, so you are going to be...
Yeah, that's it. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to stick around for this awesome ZvZ coming up right after the break.
Love you, buddy.